And welcome back to another Reptile Room video. This is my private reptile room. Yes, this is not a shop or anything like that. So if you've got any reptile questions, comment down below or talk to me on social media and I can go through everything with you. I do sell snakes and stuff like that privately. You need a reptile license in Queensland. At the moment I don't freight anything because it's a 2.5 hour round trip to the airport. But I can tell you all about that on social media if you send me a message. I will show you what snakes I've got available now in this video. So if you're watching this on upload, good chance they'll all be available. If you're watching this months and months in the future, I was going to say the past, yeah, that doesn't work. Well, it'll be my past, won't it? Technically, yes, it'll be months in my past, but it'll be in the future. Oh, that's weird. Anyway, yeah, comment on social media. I can tell you what I've got. But first off, we're going to go through the Goanas, and this little mingy boy or girl, I suspect it's a girl, was born with one eye, and that was her gummy eye. She actually doesn't have an eye on that side. So this is a lace monitor. So one of, oh, don't you get too startled. She's very alert now. So obviously born with one eye, a kink in her back, and a kink in her tail. Let's zoom in. See the kink? I know. But the kink in her back is pretty much almost gone. There's a slight ridge. But yeah, she is actually doing a lot better than what I thought, and I didn't even suspect that she would even survive. She is half the size of her brothers and sisters, and I'll show you them in a second. But she is very, very feisty. You can't even touch her now. She will lunge at you. They're pretty dangerous lizards. When they're little like this, they can still do a little bit of damage, but nothing compared to what a big one can do. And see her sort of, whoop, she saw me with her good eye. See, there's no eye here, so she doesn't know I'm right in her face. Yeah, she's got one eye, which is the good one on the other side. You'd think you would have your good eye facing the fret. Really, maybe she's not all there. And her jaw has a little bit of a kink in it too. Look at that. But she is still going fine. She is eating pinky and fuzzy mice. She's eating kangaroo mints, all sorts of stuff like that. I'm just going to shut that. Look at her next door. How pretty are you? That is a spotted tree monitor. Look at her little tongue. I know, so cute. I still have some baby ones of those available. But the brothers and sisters of that lace monitor are these ones here. Look at that, perfect eyes. Look at your perfect eyes. Perfect snout. Where are the other ones? Lovely lace monitors. So perfect eyes, no hump. They are about double the size of the other one. There's another one in there. I have to get them out of this enclosure because they're kind of getting a little bit too big. Look at you. Are you going to show us how big you are? Look at you flaring up. I'm going to touch your tail. Well, maybe I won't. Yeah, I'm going to touch your tail. I touched your tail. But yeah, lace monitors are pretty awesome little things, but they're going well. I don't have any lace monitors for sale. These are going outside soon. They are just currently in a 3-foot by 3-foot exoterra, so they really need a lot more room than that. And she is in a 3-foot high by 60 centimetre. No, I think this is a 45. Yeah, it's a 45 by 45 by 3-foot high. And she's doing fine, but she is half the size of them. Kind of crazy, but it is what it is. Let's jump to the baby spotted monitors. Now, I do want to keep them all, but I can't keep them all. So I still have some of these available. So these are Scalaris spotted tree monitors. Getting a decent size. Look at them. They are eating kangaroo mints, crickets, chopped up pinkies. Oh, look at them all scurrying. I'm going to grab one. Oh, I'm too slow. Okay, we've got, yeah. Okay, they're not something you can easily pick up. But when they're babies like this, they don't bite. When they are adults, they will take a finger off almost. Okay, don't do that to a very warm lizard. But we have lots of these available still. These are $250 each to give you a rough idea of how much a Scalaris costs. Yeah, I just can't grab them, can I? No, they just don't want to be grabbed. Anyway, pointless grabbing lizards that don't want to be grabbed, but they are very, very cool. They're going to get around about that sort of 60 to 80 centimeters if you count the tail. Let's jump to the parents and I'll show you. Now, why is it every time I want to show someone the parents, they are all completely hiding? There is one there. Yeah, he's not going to come out. And there's the other one in there. Are you going to come out? Delicious finger. Do you want a finger? Well, because they're not playing the game and they do not want a finger, we are going to gently not upset this one. And this is a big adult male. Oh, look, they do not like the camera. That's what we've sort of decided what is happening. Because any other day, I open the enclosure and they lunge at you because they think it's food time. So what I'm going to do is try and put my hand quickly behind him to stop him from reversing. Whoa, okay, that did not work. Okay, you cannot see how big he is. Oh, he's hissing. Really? Look at you just looking and hissing. They do not like the camera, so let's go to these ones. These ones are about a year or two younger. I'm just gonna open this and be back because my sliding doors are deafening. These are a little bit smaller, but they are not terribly shy. Okay, they are terribly shy because what is with the camera spooking my poor lizards? I definitely don't like it, do they? Yeah, go figure. So you need a decent size enclosure. So these enclosures are 4 foot by 3 foot by 2 foot. So that's more than enough room. I think they've got 3 adults in there. There's 2 adults in there that you'll never see because, oh, look, he's out. Okay. Silly time to do this. Gonna close those 2 enclosures, open that one. Hopefully he hasn't darted off. Let's try that. And just like that, they are closed. That is open. Let's see if he will bite me. My hand is going behind you. There he is. Okay, so that is how big he will be. Come on, you just go over here. No, look, you can't go that way because I'm there. Oh, none. Okay, there he is, there he is. That's as much lizard as you're going to see. So probably a good 70 centimeters total length, but maybe 30 centimeter body and 40 centimeter tail. Scared of the camera. Scared of the camera. I'm not going to shove the camera in their face again. Anyway, but that was those lizards. Let's jump to some lovely snakes outside that are not shy. That would be wonderful. So all the snakes I'm going to show you are available apart from the awesome big snake at the end. And anyway, everything's self-explanatory. We will jump outside. Okay, we're outside. There's kind of background sounds, but so far so good. So this is a Simpsons Python. Simpsons Pythons don't really get any bigger than this, which is around about 60 to 80 centimeters. There's different localities. I have no idea what locality this girl is, but she is the mother of the Simpsons Pythons I have available. I'm going to show you those in a second, but I thought I would show you how big the adults get. So you can see how manageable they are to hold, and well, they technically hold you like she is right now. So I don't handle many of my snakes that often, and yeah, they settle down pretty well. Like, she's not trying to bite me. I'm not sort of restricting her or anything, and she is holding on as she almost fell off. Don't fall off. You coming back up? Yeah, you're coming back up. They're nocturnal, so they don't really like the sun that much. So let's pop her away and show you her babies. Okay, if my voice sounds kind of weird, it's because I've been dying of hay fever the last few days. But there is one of her babies right there. We're just going to pinch you, just like that. And I've just moved it near outside so you can see how cute the little babies are. So that is the baby of the mother you just saw. So a Simpsons Python. These are, how old are you now? Probably about 7 or 8 weeks. So eating regularly, they're eating pinky mice, just defrosted pinky mice. Lovely little snakes. They are ready to go. I sell all these snakes for $150 each. They are private, so not through a shop or anything like that. So if you contact me on social media or just talk to me if you see me in my aquarium shop, I can tell you what I've got available. At the moment, I don't freight any reptiles, mainly because it's about a 2.5 hour round trip to the airport and back, and I just don't have that much time. But little Simpsons available. I think I've got about 6 or 7 left, so a few people have messaged me about them. They are ready now, so if I haven't got back to you on social media, just give me a message or a ring or drop by and I can tell you, arrange a time to pick up. But how cute are they? So that is the Simpsons. Now we're going to go to the spotted pythons. it is definitely awkward trying to film animals, but you know. This is a spotted python. She hasn't bit me yet. She probably will latch on, but she's not terribly comfortable being outside. But while we've got her outside, you can see that awesome iridescent sheen to her. So this is the mother of the spotted pythons I have available, and I'll show you those in a second as well. But that is probably about as big as they're going to get, which is about 4.5 foot. I know, it doesn't look 4.5 foot, but the good thing with pythons is they tend to coil up. Very pretty snakes. So spotted pythons are probably one of the bigger types of children's pythons you can get, and by children's pythons I mean the Simpsons, the children's, and the spotteds. So the spotteds, depending on the locality, can get up to 5 foot long. So she's probably about 4 foot or so, a little bit bigger than the stimmy you just saw. Really nice iridescent sheen, check that out. That is a pretty snake. So yeah, they're a little bit notorious for being a nippy snake, but like this one that has hardly ever been handled, and I've had her for, how long have I had you for? Probably had her for, I don't know, maybe about 15 years or so. Yeah, and don't handle her very much, only when I clean her enclosure. And yeah, she is not biting. She is clenching on though. She does not want to drop, and she's probably a little bit spooked there might be predators and stuff around, because again, they're a nocturnal snake, so they do a lot better. Whoop, why are you dangling down like that? Yeah, they do a lot better at night, where they feel a lot more secure than they do during the daytime. But that is her. Let's find some of her babies and show you how cute they are. Spotted pythons are definitely underrated as pet snakes. They've been around for a long time. There's a little baby there. And they are very easy snakes to look after. And if you're after a first pet snake, spotteds, you can't really go wrong with. Look how pretty that little baby is. I know, again, they don't like full sun because they are a nocturnal animal, so I don't want to blind the poor little thing. But you can see the iridescent sheen on that snake already. That is a pretty snake. Now, if you do have snakes outside, you want to be really cautious about predators. I know it sounds kind of stupid, but all those videos you see of seagulls swooping down and grabbing food while people are trying to eat it, same thing happens with butcher birds and stuff like that in Australia. There's a lot of predatory birds that are going to see something like that in your hand and swoop down. So I'm sort of undercover a little bit on the edge of the house, so very cautious about that. But if you are going to handle snakes outside, just make sure that, yeah, it's in a safe area, obviously, because, yeah, the last thing you want is your little pet snake to get munched by some horrible bird. And talking about munched, yeah, these are not even bitey, which is kind of cool. So spotted pythons are 150 each as well. I think I've still got about 7 or 8 of them left at the moment. How pretty are you? Lovely little snakes. Again, they're eating pinky mice and almost ready to go on to fuzzy mice. And they're going to max out around that 4 foot, 4.5 foot sort of thing. How pretty is that? That is a lovely little snake. Let's go some more. I'm in the garden, and check out the tiny little water dragon. How cool is that? Let me zoom back out. But anyway, this is a children's python. Yes, that is one of the smaller types of pet pythons you can easily get. There is a pygmy python from Western Australia, but a little bit harder to get. Very easy pet pythons. Now, I've only got a couple of these available because a few of them are absolutely stubborn eaters, and it's going to take them ages to eat regularly. But this is as big. Whoa, come here, come here. Hard to do with one hand. There we go. This is as big as what they're going to get, which is around about that 60-70 centimeters. I know they all kind of look the same size in my hand, but smaller than the Simpsons and the spotted pythons. Again, doesn't really have that iridescent sheen. Very good at holding on though. You're going to go for a swim. No, don't go for a swim. That poor lizard is way over there just staring at me like going, why? You've got a snake near my pond. But that is, turn around, whoop, gotcha. There we go. But that is a children's python. Now we're going to show you their babies, or her babies. This is a she. And we're back at the hatchie rack. I should probably add as well, with baby snakes, you just want a little tub, not a great big enclosure, a water bowl. I use this stuff here, which is aspen snake bedding. What are you sniffing? Are you going to bite me? You probably will bite me. But yeah, this is aspen snake bedding, and they can actually bury into the bedding as a little hide, but you could give them a little tiny box or something like that. Are you going to bite? No, you're not going to bite. Whoa, gotcha. You're like a worm. goodness. Okay, come here. Very small snakes. And that is what a children's python looks like. It's a worm. I know, how cute is that? So super, super tiny, again, eating pinky mice. So the size of the food goes by the middle of the snake, not the head and the neck, because the head and the neck sort of stretches around the food. So you always want to feed them double the middle of the actual snake. But that is a children's python. Again, these are 150 each, the same as the spotteds and the stimmies. I think I've only got a couple of these ready to go now, but go the spotted pythons. The spotted pythons are pretty awesome, but how cute is that? Little babies. Again, watch out for predators. Even that water dragon, wherever it's gone, would probably try and eat a snake this size, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, let's jump to another snake. Well, I didn't think this one through. So this is a black and gold jungle python, and yeah, a little bit hard to hold them and show you with the camera at the same sort of time. So he is just cruising around these pots at the moment, aren't you? Yes, you are. I wonder if we can zoom in. There's a little bit more focus. Black and gold jungle pythons are going to get max about 4.5, 5 foot, which is how big this guy is. This is the dad of a few that I had available this season. Unfortunately, they've all been sold, but I will show you a baby one that's going to be picked up in the next week from someone. And it occurred to me that I really should clean out all of these today. Hopefully I've got time after I edit this video. That is a black and gold jungle python. They're very notorious for biting. You gonna bite? You did. Oh, twice. They are very flighty snakes because where they live in the wild, it is the jungles of sort of far north Queensland. There are a lot of predators, a lot of birds. They're very spooked little snakes. They'll be up trees. Look at you with your mouth open. Really? But they do settle down with handling them. So not probably the best first snake, but if you're okay with getting the odd bite here and there, and at this size they really, really don't hurt. Like a budgie would hurt 100 times worse than a snake this size. Yeah, go for it. They're a very cool snake. All that light sort of pattern is going to go a lovely gold yellow color, and the light brown will go a lovely black. Oh, come here, come here. Really? And it's a baby, so you have to sort of make sure it doesn't fall as you're handling them. So I've sort of got my finger wrapped around your tail, you silly little bugger. Let me position them better and jump back. Oh, so much fun. We have a settled down snake, and now we have neighbors across the road screaming at each other. It is so much fun on a public holiday, I tell you. But black and gold jungle pythons like this little guy here are going to eat fuzzy mice at this sort of size. As I said, adults are going to eat adult rats, no problem. And with the spotted children's and stimmies, they're going to eat adult mice to a small adult rat, to give you an idea. So the bigger the snake species, the more it's going to cost to feed them. So baby snakes like this eat every 5 to 7 days, where the adults are every sort of 10 days to 2 weeks, to give you an idea. And they do go through a shed cycle. So, and when they do shed, they sort of go off their food for probably about a couple of weeks beforehand, but it all is relative to the snake. Some snakes don't go off their food, other snakes go off their food a fair bit, just to give you an idea. But that is a lovely black and gold jungle python. Unfortunately, I have sold out for this season. I may breed them again next season. Not breeding that many snakes anymore, but yes, I still keep all the adults, obviously, that I've had for the last 25, 26 years. Yeah, let's jump to some bigger snakes that I have now, just for the fun of it, eh? Let's pop this little guy back because he does not want to be handled. And again, nocturnal, he's waiting for nighttime. Well, this never works. Okay, we are outside again. This is a scrub python. I've had her for, probably about 12 years, 13 years or so. She's a very big snake. Probably not going to be able to show you how big she is because as soon as I got into her enclosure, she's like, I am going to stuff you up if you come any closer. Yeah, they're a big snake, but that is one of my scrub pythons. I don't breed scrub pythons currently, so no babies for sale for the last maybe 5 or 10 years or so. Very, very awesome snakes. They are one of Australia's biggest snakes. Big ones of these can pull down wallabies. This one is maybe about 16, 17 foot, give or take, roughly, to give you an idea. So she is eating adult roosters as well as jumbo rats and multiples, like 5 jumbo rats a time sort of thing, to give you an idea. But that is about as close as we're going to get to her. Obviously she lives outside because she is way, way too big to live inside. But yeah, she's a little bit too alert, even though it's kind of rainy at the moment. And yeah, I suspected she would be a little bit more user-friendly, but no, she's not. Anyway, if you did love this video, click the thumbs up so I know. If you want to see more Reptile Room videos, there'll be ones on the screen soon. And we will see you in one of those. Thanks heaps for watching. Oh, she is not impressed. Nothing likes the camera, do they? Okay, going now before she gets me. Haha.